This is very nicely explained in Indian spirituality with three words. Sat, Chit and Ananda are fundamental realities. Peace is a fundamental requirement for happiness. If peace is not there, how can there be happiness? Krishna says that in the Bhagavad Gita.
What kind of relationship between spirituality and the science?
Spirituality is also universal. It is not for a country, not for a religion, not for a certain section of people. There is a universality about spirituality. When we chant Krishna's name, are very essential. It calms the mind. It clears the mind. When you do an action, immediately the seed of the reaction is implanted in the heart. This is the law of karma.
Why Krishna?
Why Krishna? The engine of the universe, which is making the universe move in a certain way, is Sri Krishna. And he is that six things attract our attention. Beauty attracts, wealth attracts, power attracts, fame attracts, knowledge attracts. Krishna is that Sarvakarana Karanam, who has all attractive qualities, and hence he is called Krishna, and hence we are talking about that.
Right.
You see the reason and the logic?
The idea and the dream behind ISKCON.
Okay. The body keeps changing, but the soul continues to exist constantly. So already we are experiencing afterlife within our life.
True. Heaven and hell are the real. What is your definition of success and failure?
In my action, am I aligned with Krishna's plan? If I am not aligned with Krishna's plan and I may succeed, that success is not real success.
Is afterlife true? Exists? Hi, hello, namaste. Welcome to Kavishala. This is our initiative named Big Journeys. Today we have Chanchalapathi Dasa, this Big Journeys initiative. So our main motive at Big Journeys is cater the stories of success and failure from different verticals. So we had stories from Bollywood, we had stories from writers, we have stories from politicians. Today we are having Prabhuji for spirituality discussion. We will try to connect the spirituality with the modern era, the modern AI, ML, different kind of new technologies are evolving. So we'll try to connect this with the spirituality in whole discussion. Welcome, Swamiji at Big Journeys.
Namaste. So happy to join you in Kavishala.
Yeah. So this story is very interesting for me because you belong from an engineering background, you come from like ISC Bangalore. So before starting and before going in different verticals which you are working on right now, we just want to know, we just want to explore your journey before entering in these spiritual things and these Akshaya Patra Foundation. Your journey of initial days, yeah.
You know, actually, if I look back in my life, when I was in school or college, I never imagined one day I will land with this kind of a hairstyle or this kind of a dress. I was very normal person, very interested in science and wanted to pursue science. But although I was studying science and at some point I got introduced to philosophy.
Okay.
And then spirituality, and then Indian spirituality. And then things started making some changes. And so now I am in this kind of a situation.
Yeah. So if we explore the years, if we talk about the years when you had the first introduction with the spirituality kind of thing, like if you talk about Krishna, what was the first point of contact with this spirituality thing, this spirituality world?
You know, as I was telling you, I used to read books on science and technology, and that was my real passion. There were certain things that I was reading in science which deeply struck me. I'll give you one example. If you take a piece of rope and hang it, like simple thing, right? If we see in homes or something, that you hang a rope, the arc it forms can be explained in mathematics using cos hyperbolic functions, which is a derivative of an infinite series. Okay? Yeah. So, I mean, whatever these things mean, it is mathematical. So what I found very, very striking was, in simple things in nature are governed by mathematical concepts, or there is a mathematical concept behind it, or there is a law which is explained or represented in mathematical equations. So how is it that nature, mathematics is embedded in nature?
Right.
This was very striking to me, because you talk about an infinite series, these are all mathematicians
Right.
do
Yeah.
out of their their penchant for numbers and such things. But those concepts which mathematicians have developed seem to be embedded in nature. This was very, very striking to me. And so like this, there were a few other instances, and which made me think, so nature is not exactly simple as it appears to us. There seems to be something very profound the way it is constructed. And at some point, I learned that there is a purpose behind this universe. You see, for instance, scientists study the universe. A very fundamental question, in fact, I came across reading a book on science in this subject. Scientists study the universe, but the very fundamental question is, why does the universe exist for the scientist to study? Why doesn't nothing exist? But the fact is, there is something exists, and the scientists are studying that. Now later I came across, in Indian spirituality, there is another intriguing thing about this. Not only the universe exists for the scientists to study, there is universe which the scientist is studying. Now there is another layer to it. There is a scientist who has the ability to study, or who has consciousness to understand, to reflect upon, to study and know nature. So there is something universe, and there is something who also exists, not only exists, but also ability to know. Right? Universe exists and the scientist also exists.
Yeah.
Now scientist not only exists, he is studying the universe. He has the ability to know and understand the universe. So there are two things. Existential reality, universe has it. The scientist has existential reality and also a knowing reality. Universe cannot know itself. Universe is not trying to know itself. Universe exists. Whereas we as scientists or someone else, we are studying the universe. We exist and we are trying to understand the universe. So I began to realize this from Indian spirituality. There is existential reality and there is a knowing reality or a conscious reality. The third thing I learned from Indian spirituality is there is not only existential reality and knowing reality. This knowing reality is constantly in search of happiness. That's what we are all, right? If we get bored with something, we will change the topic, we will look into some other activity, because we are constant pleasure seekers.
True.
So this is very nicely explained in Indian spirituality with 3 words. Existential reality is sattva, about existence. Knowing reality, that's part of us. Inanimate objects in the universe don't have that, is chit. And the third aspect is that ananda. We are constantly seeking pleasure. It's a fundamental reality. Everybody is searching for Ananda. We exist, and if something threatens our existence, we fight back. We want to know awareness. If something is clouding, we want to get rid of that and to know more. And we all seek happiness. Sat, Chit and Ananda are fundamental realities. These are some of the things I started learning.
Yeah.
Now you can see how from science,
towards spirituality,
there was a bridge towards spirituality.
Right.
These kind of things happened over many years. And then here I am.
I think you have experience of decades. Right now, if we go for like third point, the happiness. We are moving towards the new technologies. New tech stacks are booming. AI is booming. In this era of machine learning, AI, new tech stacks, if someone is looking for the peace or happiness, how can someone get this happiness or peace?
You see, we may try different things: technology, prosperity, fame, power, different things, or we may use technology for all of these things. So ultimately, we are all looking for peace and happiness. Right? Peace is a fundamental requirement for happiness. If peace is not there, how can there be happiness? Krishna says that in the Bhagavad Gita. So, happiness is something that we are all looking for, and that happiness is something of an internal state of consciousness. And these externals may vary. And for different people, it can vary in different ways. But spirituality is something about internal understanding, a perspective, a knowledge, an awareness, because of which you experience constant bliss within. So that is always possible, despite all the technology and all these different things that may happen. Our search is deep, and spirituality can provide an answer for that deep search for peace and happiness.
Right. What kind of relationship, if we talk about like in one word or maybe some kind of explanation, a relationship between spirituality and the science?
Very good. Now you see, when we say science, we say water is made of hydrogen and oxygen. That is science. That is true for Indians. That is true for Americans. That's true for Africans. It is true today. It will be true tomorrow. It is true for a Hindu. It is true for a Christian, for a Muslim. So what is science? Science is trying to understand reality, which is universal, not only specific to a country or religion or people's nature. What is reality in its own state? That's what science is trying to understand. Now, what we learn in Indian spirituality is, or the way the Indian spirituality is presented as a scientific reality. In other words, spirituality is not some belief. It is not some kind of a thing that's applicable only to Hindus. Spirituality is something only for Indians. No, spirituality is also universal. It is not for a country, not for a religion, not for a certain section of people. There is a universality about spirituality. So like science is looking for a universal underlying reality and understanding that truth, in the same way, spirituality seeks to find that universal underlying fundamental reality of existence. So in that sense, you see, the spirituality is also a science. It is not just some sentiment. It is not some kind of a belief. It is something that is universal, fundamental, true, and can be accessed and experienced by any sincere seeker. That's how I would see that the transition from science and spirituality.
So is there any kind of harm or benefits for both the side, like for spirituality from science or science from spirituality?
There, I do not see there is any harm for science from spirituality or vice versa. I think both can coexist and help and to advance what they are trying to understand. Like, for example, Stephen Hawking, a very well-known scientist, right? He was working on a theory. I mean, this is a theory that scientists have been working on for nearly 30, 40 years. Even in my younger college days, I used to hear about this. I used to attend classes on these kind of subjects. It was called the grand unification theory. The scientists have identified 4 fundamental forces. Now, why these, which has caused the universe? Now they are searching if these 4 forces can be unified into one single force, from which the 4 forces have come, and from the 4 forces the universe has come. That's the grand unification theory. Stephen Hawking was also working on these kind of ideas, and he gave a new name to this, and he called it the theory of everything. Because if you understand that one particular force, from which 4 forces have come, from which all the universe has come, you have explained everything. So he used to call it the theory of everything. And when he was describing this, he writes in one of his books, if we can find this theory of everything, if we can find this theory of everything which can explain everything, he said, that will be the triumph of human intellect, and we would have understood why the universe exists and why we exist, and we would have known the mind of God. Some of these kind of statements he has made. Now let's come to this point, why the universe exists and why we exist. This is what scientists are also trying to find out. Right? This is the fundamental search in Indian spirituality. In Vedanta, we are trying to explain why the universe exists and why we exist. You see, let's take Bhagavad Gita. Krishna and Arjuna were on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And Arjuna had to fight, but all of a sudden, he told Krishna, I want to see who are in the army on both sides, especially on the other side. And he saw his own grandfather, Bhishma. He saw his teacher, Drona, Acharya. And he saw his cousins, Karna, Duryodhana, so many of them. So then he said, I'm going to fight them and kill them. Just imagine the state of mind, the situation of Arjuna. It was a very, very difficult situation for Arjuna. Right? It's not that he has to go and quarrel with them and come back. No, he has to fight and kill them. And they are his grandparents, grandfather, and teacher, and cousins. So if you see the first chapter of the Gita, where all this dilemma of Arjuna is described, Arjuna gives different reasons why he should not fight. It's a very reasonable, logical, sensitive thinking that makes Arjuna come to the conclusion, I must not fight. Now, Krishna responds to that and speaks to him. The 700 verses of the Gita is the conversation. Maybe it took about 1 hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour, 1 hour, 15 minutes, or whatever. And at the end of it, Arjuna is fully prepared and ready to fight and kill his grandfather, teacher, cousins. What is it that Krishna spoke to Arjuna that flipped his decision altogether from a sensitive individual who, on moral grounds, ethical grounds, humanitarian grounds, dharmic grounds, was unwilling to fight? After hearing Krishna, he said that, yes, I am ready to fight. What is it that he changed, that Krishna presented? You see, what Krishna presents is this very profound understanding of why the universe exists why we exist, who we are, what are we supposed to do. That perspective, as actually called, it is Vedanta perspective. You know, the word Veda in Sanskrit means knowledge, and Anta means ultimate or end. Vedanta means end of knowledge, or the ultimate of knowledge, or what is the end of someone who has the highest knowledge. What would that person be doing, thinking, feeling, willing? That is the Vedanta perspective. So Krishna presents that Vedanta perspective to Arjuna in a very succinct manner, and that is what changes the way Arjuna is looking at the world, at himself, at the situation in front of him. So Bhagavad Gita aims to bring this kind of a enlightened and enriched vision in the readers who read carefully the Bhagavad Gita, so that they can see the world in a more enlightened and a more enriched manner, so that they know that why they exist, why the universe exists, and they can align themselves in harmony with the purpose of the universe. See, these are very profound things that happens in the Bhagavad Gita. And so you can see how spirituality is very profound and very scientific. And this is the way Srila Prabhupada, our Acharya of ISKCON, he presented these things in a very profound but simple language. And that's what impressed.
Okay. Yes, if we have to pick like one slok or one mantra from Bhagavad Gita for today's universe or today's world, which slok fits for like today's scenario, today's world?
Oh my God. Okay. Okay, one shloka from the Gita.
One or many? Yeah.
Comes to my mind.
Yeah.
Krishna says in the 8th chapter, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmaram yudhyacha mayarpita mano buddhir mameva eshyasi asamshayaha. I mean, you have asked a very nice question. One shloka to describe the universe or in this world, what is relevant. Nice point. This shloka, what it means is, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmaram yudhyacha. Therefore, Arjuna, always think of me and fight. Sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmaram yudhyacha, and fight. Because he was in the middle of an army and a war battle, he had to fight. Mayarpita mano buddhir. In this way, when your mind and intelligence are offered to me, Mayarpita mano buddhir mameva eshyasi, you will certainly come to me, asamshayaha. Undoubtedly, you will come to me. So, by and large, what this verse says is, in a modern context, whatever we may be doing, we may be a podcaster, someone may be an engineer, someone may be a lawyer, someone may be a doctor, someone may be a homemaker, a housewife, a husband, a wife, whatever their profession, their practical reality is, always think of Krishna. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmaram, and continue your profession, job, work, whatever you are supposed to do. In this way, if your mind and intelligence are offered to me, Krishna is saying, you will certainly come to me. Actually, you can see how this is a very practical thing, that whatever one is doing, you continue to do that. Don't change. Krishna did not tell something impractical. Arjuna, you have to practice spirituality. Now go to the Himalayas. He didn't say. He said, you fight. You do your duty. Think of me always. And in this way, offer your mind and intelligence to me, and you will certainly come to me. So the message is that whatever one is doing, please continue to do. And in addition, think of Krishna. and in this way you will go back to Krishna. You know, we are in the tradition of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. 500 years back, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared all over the country. He traveled and he introduced Harinama Sankirtana. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu introduced that Krishna is saying, always think of me. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said the easiest way to think of Krishna is to chant his holy names. And that is how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu introduced chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Suppose somebody is driving a car. You can be driving and you can be chanting. So you can think of Krishna. Somebody is at home cooking. Can be doing cooking. Can be thinking of Krishna, chanting Krishna's name. And so you see, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave a very practical way how to follow Krishna's instruction in the Gita of remembering him always by chanting his holy name.
Okay, so I think way back we were talking about like for mathematics. So we always had of like chanting the formulas of mathematics.
Okay.
So the one reason for chanting or worshipping is remembering the Krishna. And any other reasons, any other points which we can like have why chanting or worshipping is important?
Okay. You see, when we chant Krishna's name, Krishna, that sound, that name, that sound is non-different from Krishna. Abhinnatvat nama naminaha. This verse from the Padma Purana says, there is nama and namina. Means there is name and the object that the name signifies or points out. Like say for instance, I say water. Word water. And it indicates what? Substance water. Drinking water, bathing water, river water, ocean water. These are all. The word water indicates that substance.
Right.
And the word is different and the substance is different. Like say for instance, you are very thirsty. And if you just say water, water, your thirst will not be quenched. Because object water and the word water are different. But in Krishna, the name Krishna and Sakshat Bhagavan Krishna, there is no difference. Abhinnatva nama naminaha. There is no difference between nama and the word that name indicates Bhagavan Krishna. So what happens is, because of this, when we chant Krishna's name, we are in touch with Krishna. We can associate with Krishna. And that is why Krishna is Param Pavitra. Gita says, Param Brahma Parandhama Pavitram Paramam Bhavan Purusham Shashvatam Divyam Adidevam Ajam Vibhu. Krishna is Param Brahma and he is Parama Pavitra. He is all pure. So when we chant Krishna's name and hear his name and associate with Krishna, because he is all pure and the name is not different from himself, we become purified. And that is an important reaction of chanting of Krishna's name. So our heart is cleansed, our consciousness is cleared, and our mind is cleared. Mind can become too complicated with thinking and all this. It becomes clear, and then we will be able to see things with more clarity. So this is an important effect of chanting. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Cheto Darpana Marjanam. The chanting is, Darpana is a mirror. Darpana Marjanam, it cleanses the mind, the mirror of the mind. Cheto Darpana Marjanam. So it cleanses the mind so that the mind becomes pure. And the mind, just like you have water and you're full of dirt, you allow it to settle down and it becomes clear water. In the same way, our mind is very agitated now. By chanting, it cools the mind and all the dirt goes away and it becomes clear. So such clear mind is very essential today. Why people are, puzzled and stressed out and feeling all kinds of depression and anxiety, because too many things going on in the mind.
Right.
Life has become complex. It's not the same as it was before 20 years, 30 years
I
before.
agree. Yeah.
So it is complex. So especially in this age, this spirituality and spiritual practices like chanting are very essential. It calms the mind. It clears the mind. So these are all the benefits and effects of chanting.
Okay, so there is a saying in Hindi, कर्म करो फल की चिंता मत करो.
Yes.
So people have started like chanting and worshipping, but they are looking for some results. A peace, happiness is okay. They are looking forward for some physical need, something. They ask something, some kind of necessities, some benefits. So is karma quantified, measurable? We have. So some people have trust, some doesn't have trust on karma. So what are your views on karma specifically?
Okay. Yeah, it's a very nice question you have asked. Karma.
Yeah.
This is the normal understanding in our Indian culture. We try something and it succeeds. Oh, good karma.
Yeah.
Or it doesn't succeed. We'll say what to do. He didn't have the karma to get that result. We say like that. Yeah, we must understand why Krishna has made the law of karma as a law of this world. I'll give you one example. There was a village, and in the village there was a temple. A farmer went to the temple and he prayed to God in the temple. I am a farmer. I have big family, 9 children. I have my father, mother. I have to look after them. God, let there be plenty of rain so that I'm a farmer. Rain is good. I can grow and I'll get good harvest and I'll make money. After half an hour, the potter from the same village went to the temple and the potter asked, oh my God, I have 10 children in my house. I have a big family to look after. I'm a potter. Let there not be rain. Let there be only sunshine. If there is rain for 3-4 months, I can't make any pots. I can't sell. I'll be starving. Let there be no rain. Let there be only sunshine. Now, God, He is watching. Farmer wants rain. Potter wants sunshine. Contradiction. So, both of them are God's devotees. How will God fulfill their different requirements? You see? So, this example is given to point out that how all of us have various desires which contradict with each other. I want one thing to be fulfilled and your desire is exactly the opposite of that. For I have something to be fulfilled. For that fulfillment of that, some conditions are required, and your expectation, your prayer is just the opposite of those conditions. So how will God manage? I just gave the example of potter and farmer. This world has billions of people, billions of living entities, all of them having contradicting desire. So Krishna has made a rule. All of you are dear to me. I will not interfere with this. The result you get is a function of your past activities. And I will administer this very strictly and I will not interfere with it. This is the law of karma, and that is why in the Shastra it is said, when you do an action, immediately the seed of the reaction is implanted in the heart. But that seed may take some time for it to fructify, the bija to become phalonmukha. When the phalonmukha happens, then you experience the reaction of that action. So time, there is a time factor, which is also an energy of the Lord, is under the control of Krishna. Through time factor, Krishna arranges different bija of karmas that we have, you have, all of us have, and our family members have. Because if something happens to me, it impacts our family members also. Right? So all their karmas are carefully adjusted in such a way. It's a very, very infinite parameter problem actually. Only God can handle this. And God, as Paramatma in the heart of every living entity, He is adjusting this so that everyone fairly gets what he or she is due to get based on the previous karmas. And there is no injustice happening here.
Right.
So this is a law of karma is a reality. It's a reality. Now, although Krishna talks about this, Krishna says, you can come to a state of consciousness and existence where you become free from the law of karma. You don't have to be governed and bound by karma. And that is when you do Sharanagati. When you surrender to Krishna, you will become freed from the laws of karma, and Krishna will reciprocate according to our Sharanagati. That is the message of the Gita. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam raja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami. So many papa may be there. I will free you from all of that if you surrender to me. So this is the message of Krishna.
Right. Basically, I have 2 points. Why Krishna? Because we have many God faces.
Okay.
First. Second, the idea, if we have to tell a layman, what is the idea and dream of the ISKCON?
Okay. Very good. So I'll go to the first question first. Why Krishna? You know, Ankur, many years back, I was a college student and I was reading Prabhupada's books. These questions came to my mind too. Why is Prabhupada talking Krishna, Krishna? Because ISKCON is known as International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Right? Why so much Krishna, Krishna, emphasis on Krishna? Actually, the way Krishna is explained in the Gita, in the Bhagavatam, in the Upanishads, in the Vedanta, it is so philosophical, it is so profound, so logical, amazing it is. I'll try to explain in a simple way. You see, if you analyze any action, like say for instance, we are feeling some kind of a coolness here. Why is this coolness here? There's an air conditioner working. Because there is air conditioner, it's cool. Now the effect is coolness. What is the cause? Cause is air conditioner. If you analyze the world, there are effects and causes which has caused the effect. Like coolness is caused by the air conditioner. Now you study the air conditioner, it is a machine which cools the air.
True.
And that is the effect. And the cause of the air conditioner is electricity. If electricity band ho gaya to, there won't be any coolness, there won't be any cool experience. Now electricity is the cause of air conditioning. Coolness is caused by air conditioner. Air conditioner is caused by the electricity. Now you study electricity. Electricity is also an effect. It is caused by some generator which is producing and supplying this to the building. Right? So if you study effect, you can find a cause. You study the cause, it has one more effect. That cause itself is an effect and has another cause. You study that cause itself is an effect and it is caused by another cause. multiple chain of causes exist in the universe. Actually, the universe is a complex web of causes and effects. That's what we are all experiencing. Now, if you trace this cause, its cause, where will it end? And the Shastras say, Sarva Karana Karanam Krishna. He is the original cause. Srila Prabhupada gave a very nice example to help us understand this. Suppose you are sitting in a bogie, in a train, and the train is moving. If you ask the question, why is my bogie moving? One immediate answer is, there is one bogie in the front, and that bogie is pulling this. That is why my bogie is moving, because there is one bogie in the front. Now, why is that bogie moving? Because there is one more bogie in the front which is pulling it. Now, why is that bogie moving? There is one more bogie in the front which is pulling it. And you keep tracing like this. Where you will come? You will come to the engine. Engine is the one which is pulling everything. Now, if you ask the question, what is pulling the engine? Is there one more bogie in front of it pulling the engine? No. Engine doesn't require any other bogie to pull it. It can pull itself and pull other bogies also. That's the difference between bogie and engine. So that prime cause of all causes is the engine. In the same way, the engine of the universe, which is making the universe move in a certain way, is Sri Krishna. And he is Adi. He is the original source of all the pull and push that is happening in the world. And he is Anadi. He has no other cause. You see, engine doesn't require something else to pull. Engine is such that it is self-pulling and pulls other bogies. So this is how Ishvara Paramakrishnaha Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. So in this way, Krishna is explained. So now, first of all, the Shastras say there is a final cause which is pushing and pulling everything. Sarva Karana Karanam. Many Karanas are there, but he is the cause of all causes.
All causes, yeah.
Now that Karana of everything else is, number one, a person, not an imperson. And that person has attractive qualities. That Sarva Karana Karanam, he attracts everyone's attention. Even for that, there is a very scientific explanation. Aishwaryasya samagrasya Viryasya yashasa shriya Jnana vairagyayos shannam bhaga itingana. It is said that 6 things attract our attention.
Okay.
Number 1, if somebody is very wealthy, we will get attracted to that person. Right? Suppose you get an invitation from Mr. Mukesh Ambani in our country. He's invited you, please come and meet me in Mumbai. Oh, will you miss that invitation?
No.
Right? You are attracted to him.
Yeah.
You will want to go and you will be waiting. You will tell all your friends, cousins, relatives, I have got an invitation, from Mr. Mukesh Ambani. I'm going to meet him. Because wealth attracts. Power attracts. Suppose you get an invitation from Prime Minister's office. Will you resist that? Will you? I will go and meet him. Or Prime Minister, Rashtrapati, somebody. Power attracts. Aishwaryasya samagrasya viryasya yashasaha. If a very famous man, like say for instance, Amitabh Bachchan is very famous in our country. He makes a phone call and says, please Ankur, come and see me. You will get attracted. No? Aishwaryasya samagrasya viryasya yashasa shriya. If there is a very beautiful person, we will get attracted to beauty. Right? There's a beautiful painting.
True.
It's a beautiful flower, a beautiful bird. We get attracted to that. Beauty attracts, wealth attracts, power attracts, fame attracts, knowledge attracts. If there is a very knowledgeable
Right,
person, we get attracted. And somebody is very renounced. Even renunciation attracts. So it is said that Sarvakarana Karana Purusha, he has all these 6 qualities simultaneously to an unlimited extent. Hence, he is all attractive. And one who is all attractive in Sanskrit, Sarvam Karshayati. One who draws everyone towards him, he is called Krishna.
Right.
So that is why Krishna is all powerful. All these 6 attributes he has simultaneously to an unlimited extent. And hence, his nomenclature is Krishna. So Krishna is that Sarvakarana Karanam, who has all attractive qualities, and hence he is called Krishna, and hence we are talking about that.
Right.
You see the reason and the logic?
True. Yeah. Second point was ki the idea and the dream behind ISKCON.
Okay. You know, Srila Prabhupada is the founder of ISKCON. And he traveled around the world, and he said, he traveled around the world on the order of his guru. His guru told him, you must take this knowledge of Krishna, the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, all over the world and give to people who are seeking genuine spirituality. So that is why he went all over the world, reaching out to people. Whoever is sincerely seeking the truth, he wanted to present to them the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Upanishads, Vedanta, so that they can benefit. Benefit how? And make them happy. Srila Prabhupada said, my mission is to make the whole world happy in Krishna consciousness, in awareness of Krishna, that Sarvakarana Karanam, who is the sustainer of everyone, who is the maintainer of everyone, to be conscious of him, to be conscious of our relation with him. That Krishna, who is the absolute person, Sarvakarana Karanam, with him we have a relationship. And we have to experience that relationship. Right now we have become vismrutaha. We have become forgetful of that relationship. Now we have to become established in that relationship, and that the experience of being established in that relation is complete joy and happiness. And that is what Prabhupada wanted to share with the world. You know, Prabhupada, once he wrote a letter to Jawaharlal Nehru, 1950s. And he said something very interesting. You know, there is one important subject called Socrates' method of questioning. This was actually developed by Socrates, the Greek philosopher. The Socratic method of questioning is to question something very critically to understand what is the underlying reality. And that it's a method of critical, analytical analysis of something. And that method is now adopted in every field of human science, human endeavor. Whether it is business, whether it is science, whether it is law, whether it is economics, in every aspect, we analyze things fundamentally. That kind of a thinking was developed by Socrates, and it was called Socratic method of questioning. So Prabhupada said, just like Socratic method of questioning is so fundamental, and it is very essential, and it has benefited humanity, it should not, imagine if it was kept only to Greek and to Athens, and it never went out, what a loss it would have been. Prabhupada said, in the same way, in the Vedic literatures, the Gita and the Bhagavatam and the Upanishads, there is a very fundamental reality, fundamental truth, and that should not just be kept in India, should just be kept to some few knowledgeable people in India. It should reach everyone so that everyone can benefit from this fundamental reality, understanding of that reality. This is the way Srila Prabhupada saw the message and the meaning of the Bhagavad Gita. And he wanted to share with the whole world so that the world will become happy in understanding that ultimate cause of all causes. And establishing a relation with that. You see, that establishing a relation with that Param Satya, Parama Purusha is called yoga. Yoga, Prabhupada defines very nicely, science of one's relation with the Supreme. You see, there is a relation with the Supreme. There is a Supreme, Sarva Karana Karanam, and we have a relation. And to understand that science, it is not sentiment, it is not belief, it's a science, it's a reality. So to understand that science of one's relation with the Supreme is called yoga. So Prabhupada wanted to make the whole world happy. That is the mission of ISKCON.
Okay. So how this spirituality, worshipping, chanting mantras can help in healing from any kind of emotions, maybe sad emotions. Someone is crying. How this spirituality can help in any kind of emotions and sad emotions. Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, anxiety, sadness, depression, loneliness, something has hurt somebody. All of these kind of things one can experience in this world. Actually, spirituality brings a new level of awareness about our existence. I'll give you an example Srila Prabhupada used to give. There was a man, he was sleeping. And in the sleep, he was dreaming. And in the dream, there was a tiger chasing him. And he's running in the forest, through the trees and the bushes and all that. And there is a tiger that is chasing him. And you can imagine, he was feeling so much anxiety, fear. He looks back and the tiger is leaping at him, full of fear. And he is sweating while he's lying on the bed. He's going through this kind of a nightmare, a dream. How can we help that person? One way to help him is, if I can somehow get into his dream with a dream gun and shoot the dream tiger. He will say, thank you so much, you saved me from the dream tiger. I can do one more thing to help him. I can just wake him up. And then when he wakes up, the tiger is gone.
Yeah, true.
See, in the same way, what spirituality does is, we are going through a depression, anxiety, fear, stress, all these things is one level of reality. We can be awakened to a higher reality with spirituality. And when we are awakened to the higher reality, that was a dream. We will laugh it off. In the same way, spirituality, that perspective, that knowledge, that awareness, that elevation of consciousness through a spiritual process enables us to look at the world and the distressing, stressful, anxious, painful situations that we go through with another calmness, with another perspective, and say, yes, that's a dream existence. Now I'm awakened. You see, that's called Jagruta.
Right.
Uttishta, Jagruta, Prapyavara Nibodhata. Katha Upanishad says, wake up. Don't be asleep. So we wake up to a new reality through spirituality. And hence, it helps us to deal with all the stressful, difficult situations in a more practical manner. And so you can see how there is a big difference between sleeping, dreaming state and awakened state. That's what the spirituality promises. So how important spirituality is, how essential this is to everyone. People are actually struggling and suffering So many ways. They must learn these techniques of spiritual elevation. And if they learn, it will truly benefit them. And we should share with
Right.
the whole world. This was the mission of Srila Prabhupada.
Is afterlife true? Exists?
Oh, very good. Nice question. Afterlife.
Yeah.
You know, there is one verse in the Bhagavad Gita. Dehi nosmin yata dehe kaumaram yavvanam jara tata dehantara prapthir dhirastatra na muhyati. This is you're talking about afterlife. Now, Krishna is saying, 20 years back, if I came to Ankur's house, where is Ankur? Ankur will be one small boy, school going boy, right? Now, that school going boy, wearing a school uniform, carrying a school bag, going to school, it's a reality of yours.
True.
Your family members you would have captured in some photographs. So now that Ankur, that child body is gone. Now he is a young man. That Kaumara body is gone. Yauvana body also to some extent, and then you become a young man. So like this, the body keeps changing, but the soul continues to exist constantly. So already we are experiencing afterlife within our life.
Right. True.
This is the logic Krishna presents. Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yavvanam jara. Kaumara, boyhood, yavvana, youth, jara, old age. Who is going through this? Deha is going through these changes. But there is an occupant in the Deha called Dehinaha. Dehi. You see, in Sanskrit, these words are there to express these complex ideas. So there is a Deha, there is an occupant in the Deha called the Dehi. Deha is changing, Dehi is the same. In the same way, one day this body Deha becomes not usable. We discard this Deha. Dehi moves on to another situation. And we call that afterlife. But within this life also we go through afterlife. And hence, afterlife is not a myth. It's a reality.
Right.
We have experienced it in our life itself. This is how Krishna presents these ideas. See how wonderful Bhagavan's message is in the Gita.
So if we always had a thought of like heaven and hell, are they real?
Okay. Are they?
Real exist?
Okay. Now you see, we have to take all this information from the Shastra, from the Vedic literatures, right? Otherwise, we can't know everything.
True.
Our senses, our mind, our intelligence have limitations. So, Shastras say, yes, there are different grades of gradation of life. Like even on earth also, there are different gradations of life, right? Where there is life, there is a lot of comfort, enjoyment, all that. And there is a lot of suffering in some other. So in the same way, in the universe, there are planets, there are lokas, where there is higher grade of happiness and higher levels of pain also. This kind of a differentiation exists. And the Lord is saying in the Bhagavad Gita, Abrahma bhuvana loka punaravarti norjuna mamupetyatu kaunteya punarjanma na vidyate. You see, there are planetary systems where there is higher enjoyment. There are planetary systems where there is a lot of suffering and the living entity is going up and down. Krishna is saying, don't go up and down. Come out of this universe and Mamupetyatu kaunteya punarjanma na vidyate. If you attain me, come to my spiritual world, which is outside of the material universe. And if you come there, there will be no more suffering. There will be no more rebirth. So this is the kind of a message Krishna is presenting.
Okay. So what is sin?
Okay, very good. Now, we were talking about plan of God.
Yeah.
There is a plan, there is a purpose for which the universe is created. Now, when we act in such a way that we are aligned with the plan of the universe, that is good, that's favorable. If we act in such a way, it is going against the plan of the universe, it is harmful to us. Those actions which are actually against the plan of the universe, plan of God, that's called sin. Just like the government has a plan. You should drive your car on the left side of the road. This is God's plan. You drive on the right side, what will happen? Immediately the police will catch us.
True.
Right? Because it is against God, it is against the government's plan for harmonious coexistence of traffic in this world. In the same way, God has a certain plan. And if you are opposing that plan, if you are acting contrary to that plan, we get a sinful reaction. We talked about karma, a reaction for our action. So when we act in a way that is opposing God's plan for the universe, we are incurring sin. And that will bring suffering. And suffering is given. Why? So that we rectify our action. Right? In a prison, there is suffering.
Right.
Why? Is the government cruel to give suffering to a prisoner? No. It is to reform him. It is to correct him. In the same way, God has made this plan, sin, and there is suffering because of sin, so that one day we ask this question, why am I suffering? And God will enlighten us by meeting sadhus, by reading the Shastra, that this is the reason why you are suffering. This is the way you should act in this world. Higher knowledge descends, and it triggers to receive higher knowledge. That is the way, that is the nature of papa or sin and suffering.
Okay. So we had a lot of discussions around like success and failure, and we got like different answers and different opinions on. Everyone has like some different points for success, different point for failure.
Okay.
What is your definition of success and failure?
Okay. You see, we may do many things in this world. Sometimes we succeed, sometimes we fail, whatever. Success is, in my action, am I aligned with Krishna's plan? If I am not aligned with Krishna's plan, and I may succeed, that success is not real success. Real success is to be aligned with God's plan. And then it is called success. I'll give you one example. Say, for instance, you have a company and you have employees. And employees come in the morning to your office, and you have an office place. Office is a very nice, modern office, and it's air conditioned, and every employee has got a place to sit, and there is a laptop for him to work. There is Wi-Fi connection. All these things you have provided to the employees. At the end of the month, you give the employees a good salary also. Right? Now, if that employee, he comes in the morning, sits in the office, opens his laptop, connects his Wi-Fi, puts his earplug, and he is watching Netflix movies during the office hours. What will you do? Hey, come on. You can't do that.
Right.
I've given you office, laptop, Wi-Fi, salary, all these things. You should do work for our company, no? 9 to 5, you work for the company. Afterwards, you go and see your Netflix or whatever damn thing you do, I don't care.
Right.
Isn't it? So, in the same way, if you see, God is providing us so many things. Every moment, we need air, oxygen to breathe. God is providing. We need water to drink. God is providing. We need food. Food is a creation of God. Maybe manufacturing, food industry, processing industry, we may process it, transport it, we may do all that. But originally, God is the one who is giving us food. So, after taking all these things, if we are not mindful of God's plan in this universe, we are a little off, isn't it? Like that employee. That employee, after taking all the benefits of your company, he doesn't do work for the company, he is wrong. In the same way, after we receive all these benefits from God, we are not even asking, what is God's plan for me? Like you see in the company, when you employ someone, you define his roles and responsibilities. In the same way, as human beings, we must ask this question. I'm in this God's creation. I'm benefiting so much from God. What is my roles and responsibilities as defined and expected by God from me? If we don't even ask this question and just simply take benefits that God is giving, I'm not a civilized person. I'm not a sensitive person. I'm not a sane person. Just like this employee who's taking everything that you are giving from the company and he's doing his own thing. Not asking, what should I do for the company? Company is giving me all this. You see? So that is what we are supposed to know. Why this? And so, if you ask me, what is success? For an employee who is in the company, in your company, if he is working in the interest of the company, that is called success. If he is working against the interest of the company, that's failure. He may make some quick money or some benefit, some gratification he may get. But if he has worked against the interest of the company, that is failure.
True.
In the same way, if we work in harmony to further the interest of God for our own well-being, that is considered success. And if I'm working contrary to God's interest, God's plan for the creation of this universe, I'm a failure. Even though the world may consider me to be a success or whatever it is, some other ignorant people may say, I'm successful, but I'm actually a failure if I have not served the purpose of God's creation. This is the absolute definition of success and failure. This is what we should aim for in human life. You see, human beings are intelligent. Animals also have intelligence, but the kind of intelligence human beings have is of a much higher level. And now with a human being with that intelligence, if he doesn't understand these principles, then he has messed his life.
True.
This is what the Vedic literatures teach.
Okay, so I think this explanation had the word food.
Okay.
For us, like food, just related to the word the Akshaya Patra Foundation.
Oh yes.
Okay, so when we started like Kavishala, so we had a problem statement. We are not having any platform for young new poets. So we have started the Kavishala. The main pain point and the problem statement was this only. We are creating a platform. We are building a platform for new budding poets and writers who are not getting the platform. So if you talk about like Akshaya Patra Foundation, what are the main key point when you started or when you rectified the problem statement, we have to do this thing?
Very nicely you have asked food about God. Actually, God is the provider of food for everyone.
True.
You see, everyone has unique requirements of food. We have one kind of food requirement. Each bird has its own different kind of food. Right? Because their digestive system, everything is adjusted in such a way, they have to eat the right kind of food to get that food converted into energy. Now look at the fishes in the ocean. Different kinds of fishes are there. And all of them have unique requirement of food. who is providing everyone their kind of food that they need. It's actually God who is the provider. God provides elephants, which require tons of food. God is providing an ant milligrams of food that it requires. Everyone's requirement is provided by God. God is Sarvasya Dhataram. He is the provider of everyone. Gatir Bharta, Prabhu Sakshi. He is the sustainer. Bharta means a sustainer, provider of everyone, for everyone. Now, you see, everyone is getting their food, but only in the human society there is starvation, there is malnourishment. If you look at the birds, they are all not malnourished, they are all getting good food. All kinds of birds you see in the jungle, animals, they're all well fed. Only human beings, this is happening. This is because of greed. Man hoards more than what he wants. This is the nature of man. There is greed. You see, Prabhupada used to give an example. If you throw some grains, a bird will come, eat a few grains, feel satisfied, and flies away. It won't eat more than what it requires. If there is some bag of rice in the street, the man who comes, he will look around, nobody is there, he'll take the bag of rice and run away. He wants to hoard it. Animals, they consume according to their need. Human beings, we want to consume according to our greed. This is the problem. Because of this, some people have the ability to manipulate things and they are hoarding much more than they need. And there are people who are not able to access food and they are suffering. Hence, Srila Prabhupada had said, Krishna is the provider of food for everyone. And from a temple of Krishna, we must profusely distribute food. Because he is the father. Where the father is, children should not go hungry. So he had given a rule that in a 10-mile radius of an ISKCON temple, you should see that nobody is hungry. So this direction was there in Srila Prabhupada's instructions. So that inspired us. Some people come to our temple, we give them prasadam. But there are children in school. Can we go and feed them? So it was a simple thought. 25 years back, it started Akshaya Patra to cook food for about 1,500 children. We went to school, 4 or 5 schools in Bangalore city, and we started serving. And this is how it began. The original seed was given by Srila Prabhupada. And then it took the form of feeding children in a school. Then the government invited us. We worked with the government. Now, Akshaya Patra works with the state and the central government. We are an implementing agency of the government's midday meal program. So, we could spread all over the country. Today we have 78 kitchens all over the country. In 17 states we are operating. We are serving 23 lakh children every day with meals. So we think this is God's work, and as humble servant of God, we should reach this food to children in school so that they can study well. Their nourishment is met, their classroom hunger is addressed so that they can study, they can get educated, they will come out of poverty, and our country will be glorious in the years to come. That's our aspiration.
But after Bangalore, I think you have mentioned Bangalore many times, but after Bangalore, I think Vrindavan is your favorite city. Because of Krishna, or is there anything more special?
For every devotee of Krishna, Vrindavan, Krishna this is the place where the Lord was born. He did his wonderful leelas here, and Krishna was surrounded by loving devotees. They practiced bhakti of the most highest kind of a quality of bhakti. And so for us, Vrindavan, Krishna and bhakti here, these are very, very elevated and topics which are very dear to us.
Right.
So everyone wants to come to Vrindavan. From all over the world, devotees aspire, if I can come to Vrindavan for a few days, for a few weeks.
What is the idea of this Vrindavan Heritage Tower? We read this line, the tallest temple we are building here in this campus.
Yes,
Yeah.
very nice.
Yeah.
You've asked this question. You know, this vision also was given by Srila Prabhupada.
Okay. Yeah.
In 1972, Prabhupada was giving a talk here in Vrindavan.
Okay. Yeah.
And there is one ancient temple, Radha Damodar Mandir.
Okay. Yeah.
And Prabhupada was speaking to a few of his disciples, Westerners, and he was telling them, in your country you build skyscraper buildings, but you become attached to the skyscraper buildings and you become proud with, I have built this thing. You should not be attached, you should not be proud. Instead, this tendency to build a skyscraper building, it can be dovetail to think, let me build a skyscraper temple for Krishna, then that will purify you. So like this, Prabhupada had made statement in 1972. Once again in 1974, Prabhupada was in Bombay. At that time also he said that to think that let's build a skyscraper temple for Krishna, that is Krishna conscious. So like this, Prabhupada had expressed these ideas. So that was one thought. Another thought was Krishna, Vrindavan, Krishna's message. These are so important in the world. People are not recognizing that. So we wanted Vrindavan, Krishna and Krishna's message to become well known in the world. In modern society, a big iconic structure makes a statement about. Like say if you talk about Paris, what comes to your mind is the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
If you think of Dubai, what comes to your mind is Burj. You know, like all these kind of important buildings. So when we have an attractive skyscraper, tall temple for Krishna in Vrindavan, this will attract the attention of the whole world.
True.
People will come here. People will ask, who is Krishna? What was his message? What is it that we can learn? It is to bring this awareness. It is to trigger the seeking of this knowledge and to create an infrastructure where people from all over the world can learn about Krishna. That's the purpose of this project, Vrindavan Chandrodaya Mandir, with a Vrindavan Heritage Tower. It's a heritage tower, Vrindavan Heritage Tower, because the architecture we are following is from some ancient monuments of Vrindavan, Radha Madan Mohan Temple, Radha Govinda Dev Mandir. We are following that kind of infrastructure. So this is a heritage tower, so that here in this campus, 25,000 people can live.
Okay.
That's the kind of a community we are creating, we are setting up, so that people can live here, learn, understand, and maybe live for a short while, go back to their profession, jobs. A new set of people come, so that there is education, awareness, learning about Indian spirituality as taught by Sri Krishna.
Okay.
That's the purpose of this project.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we are at Kavishala. So last few questions around literature. The role of literature or poetry in your life. What kind of literature you read?
Yes, you know, I told you in the beginning that I was very attracted to science. Although I was attracted to science and I would read a lot of science, I also had an attraction for literature. Whenever I came across, I studied in Bangalore. I studied English, and I also learned Kannada language.
Okay.
And I came across, whenever I had good teachers in English or in any other language, I would really hear them very carefully. And I saw people of literature, there was some kind of a sensitivity in them. I noticed that and I appreciated that a lot. And I had always an attraction for good writing, and and my exposure was a little bit more in English than any other. And so I always loved reading. And even now I love reading good written and that kind of a work. And it always attracts me.
Okay. Is there any like 4 or 5 Vedic literatures or spiritual literatures which you want to like recommend everyone should read?
Yeah. The first literature I would recommend anybody should read is the Bhagavad Gita.
True.
And you're talking about literature, you're talking about poetry. The poetry that is there in the Gita, there are some examples, and I can show you. They are so beautiful. And Srila Prabhupada translated those verses into English.
Okay.
Even that translation Prabhupada has done so well. Very, very good language, English. So whether it is Sanskrit, whether it's... I also studied Sanskrit in school days, school and college. So there is good... and another thing I must share with you, I referred to the Bhagavatam. Among Sanskrit literature, Bhagavatam is considered to be the magnum opus. It's the pinnacle of literary creation.
Okay.
It is said, there is one Subhashita in Sanskrit. It says, if you want to test a woman, a wife is tested in times of adversity. Gold is tested in fire. A warrior is tested in the battlefield. Similarly, a Pandita is tested if he can understand and explain the Bhagavatam. Because Bhagavatam is considered to be very, very advanced Sanskrit literature. And so Bhagavatam has excellent poetry, has excellent literary compositions. And to read those things, it's a very, very beautiful experience. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to do that. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to stay in Jagannath Puri, and it is said, his biography says, Kono dine bhave shloka patana shloka aswadite ratri jagarana. This is Bengali. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to take a verse from the Bhagavatam, and in a certain devotional mood, he would read that verse. And he would read and reread and relish that. And he would be relishing those verses from the Bhagavatam, the meaning and the bhava which is there in that. He would stay up whole night and never sleep. Ratri Jagarana. Aswadite. He was relishing. The Bhagavatam, these verses have such meaning and such rasa in it. And if one is in that spiritual plane, one can read and reread and reread and relish it. You will forget sleeping also. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would stay up whole night relishing Bhagavatam. So literature, and that literature which describes the all-attractive Krishna. We talked about Krishna. He is all... there's another word for Krishna in Sanskrit. He's called Uttama Shloka. Uttama Shloka means the Lord who is glorified in chosen poetry. So the highest poetry should describe Krishna and his position and his glories. So this is what Bhagavatam teaches. And there are many acharyas who have written here in Vrindavan extraordinary literature in Sanskrit about Krishna, like Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Jiva Goswami. They're all extraordinary. See, all this treasure is there in our country. We are forgetting.
True.
We are not recognizing the treasure that's there in our country in the form of literature, in the form of the subject matter that these literatures expound and teach. So this was the mission of Srila Prabhupada. This glorious treasure should be shared with the whole world. It should not be confined and kept only to ourselves. This was the wish and mission of Prabhupada.
Yeah, like we are on end. So I think we had a discussion around, and you have experience of like decades on science and spirituality. So at the end, if we conclude this session with this point or views on this point like of yours, is the goal of science and spirituality is the same?
Very nice. If you see in science, the genuine scientists, they are trying to understand what is this world all about. You know, Einstein made a statement. I'm not interested in this equation or that element or that spectrum. These are all details. I want to know how God created this world. You see, among scientists, there were people who were genuinely seeking. So genuine science is trying to understand the reality of this world, of life, of this universe. We are all here. We come here for some time, and then something happens. We vanish.
Right.
Where did we come from? Where did we go? What is the meaning of all this? This is, in one sense, science is seeking. But the method science uses imposes certain limitations. But at least the genuine scientists were were actually driven by this quest to know what is life and universe all about. And in Indian spirituality, this is the foundation. This is the core. This is the essence to know why this universe exists. What is the cause behind this? How is it that we must act in this world? Can we figure out all these? Why we come and go? What are we supposed to do in this? This is actually the core of spirituality. Our religion, the core of a religion is spirituality. Sometimes people don't understand this. They just follow the religious principles and practices. That's okay. Even such a practice of religion benefits to a certain extent. But if you get to understand the spirituality and then have religious practices, it's a much more advanced, more harmonious way of deriving benefit of spirituality, which is integral to religion.
I think both have the same goal, same vision. Yeah.
Has the same vision.
Yeah.
But in the Indian spirituality, the methods are much more advanced, rigorous, and helps us to make a lot more progress. Whereas science has certain limitations.
Yeah, right.
One gets stuck in that way. So one should understand, quickly move on to especially Indian spirituality given in the Gita and the Bhagavatam and benefit from that. So that is what I feel we should all do.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I hope you had a good time. We had a good discussion.
I enjoyed talking to you.
Thank you so
Very
much.
nice, profound questions.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.